Hi everyone, welcome to the UC Sport Wellness Snack. Today we're going to be talking about breathing. So what I'm going to introduce to you is a little bit of anatomy, and we're going to talk about how and why breathing properly and how you are meant to breathe comfortably is really good for your health. So most people are able to breathe well, but some people can't, and that can be due to disease or things like asthma or exercise-induced asthma. So when you're active and you do sport, you also have trouble breathing as well. So today I've made a lovely board, and I'll just pull that in here, and we're just going to look at the basics of breathing. So here we've got our lungs. So breathing called ventilation, we're ventilating our bodies. We've got the air coming in, bringing oxygen into our little bunches of grapes, which are in our lungs. We've got our left lung here, and we've got our right lung here. You'll notice that the right lung is bigger than the left lung, and that's because the left lung needs to make space for the heart. So air comes in and a magical thing happens in your lungs. There is an awesome thing called gas exchange. That is when the blood zooms along, picks up the oxygen, and then delivers that to your body. As we breathe air in and we breathe air out. So inspiration is breathing our air in. Expiration is breathing our air out, which is done by natural retraction of the muscles. So this one here, which looks like a big disc at the bottom, is our diaphragm, and it's a big mushroom that sits right underneath the rib cage. Okay, and then when we breathe air out, here we have our deoxygenated blood that sends carbon dioxide out into the atmosphere, where it's picked up by the environment, and our trees just love it. So the trees give us oxygen and we give them CO2 in return. Okay, so that is talking about inspiration and expiration and sort of what it looks like with our lungs. So how do we breathe well? Right, so there are different ways that you will breathe depending on what you do. So some people are what they call top breathers. So you'll find that they'll use their shoulders and breathe up the top. And what you notice is when you are top breathing, you are recruiting all the muscles around your neck and shoulders, and you're filling up your lungs from the top section. Now, the idea to get the most amount of oxygen to your body is to bring the air down into the lower part of the rib cage and bring the air into the bottom of the lungs, where there is more surface area at the base of the lungs. So you want to fill up the base of your lungs first, and then as you fill them up, they come up to the top of the lungs. So by filling up the base of your lungs first, you're using all of the main breathing muscles, your diaphragm, which sits right under in here, all the way around the back, and it's like a massive disc joined into a central column and a central tendon. And as you breathe down, it pulls it down and out. You have your accessory breathing muscles all in between your ribs, which are your intercostals. We've got inside ones and we've got outside ones. So one helps our rib cage to move outwards, and the other helps our rib cage to move inwards. So inspiration, bringing the air in, expiration, pushing the air out. So when we are wanting to breathe, here I've got my little cue cards. So a good way, there's two ways you can do this. You can either wrap your hands around your rib cage to feel the expansion, or you can place your hand on the top underneath your sternum, by your sternum, and right on your belly. And when you're breathing in, your hand down below here or here should be moving first. And what should be staying still is the ones up at the top. So let's have a go and see what it's like if we breathe on the top. So if we breathe in through our nose and we lift our shoulders, and breathe in our nose and lift through our shoulders. So that's one pattern that some people can get caught into, is the top breathing, and that recruits sternocleidomastoid muscles, you've got scalenes in there, you've got upper traps, and when you're working at a desk, and like we have to do now, work from home, we're doing this all the time, all day, okay? At the end of the day, end of the week, we wonder why we have tight neck, tight shoulders, and also that pinching feeling that can come down into the hands and down into the arms and the hands. So with changing our way that we breathe, we can help reduce the strain on what we call our accessory breathing muscles. So we still will use those, and we do use them more when we exercise and exercise with intensity. But the first thing we want to do is make sure we are getting our diaphragm and our intercostals to work properly. So sometimes it can be quite hard, because if your diaphragm hasn't been working very well, because it is a muscle, it can get weak over time because you've been using all of these. So what we can do is we are going to breathe in for 4 seconds through the nose. We'll have a little pause, and then we'll breathe out slowly for 6 seconds with just a little pursed lip. So in through the nose, out through the pursed lips. We'll do that 5 times slowly, and then you do that twice. Okay, so let's have a go. Right, okay, so I'm going to do the top and the bottom. You can lie down on the ground so you're not going against gravity if this is easier for you, and you can just watch your belly and your hand rise. So we will breathe in for 4, pause, out for 6. Sometimes I like to take a little breath in between, and then we can reset again, and we can breathe in. And again, breathe in. And breathe out. And just imagining drawing that diaphragm and really expanding the rib cage, not just to the side, but you want anteriorly and posteriorly as much as you can. Get those ribs moving and exercise those muscles for breathing. So once again, we will go once again and breathe in and breathe out. Okay, so that is a really great way to practice, either hand here and here, just to check that you're not top breathing, and then your hands either side of your rib cage, just to make sure you're feeling the expansion first. Okay, so next thing I want to talk about is why we need to breathe that way. So by slowing our breathing down, we will reduce our stress. Number key thing is reducing stress, okay? We also help with reducing cortisol, which is a hormone produced by the adrenal glands, which is throwing out massive amounts if we're stressed. So by slowing our breathing down, we are able to slow the output of cortisol because we're feeling calm, and our body isn't in the flight or fight mode where we're pumping out lots of adrenaline and noradrenaline. Those sorts of hormones also increase the output of cortisol, which increases stress. By slowing our breathing down and by changing how we breathe, by using our abdominal breathing and our diaphragm, we are getting more oxygen exchange in our lungs, and hopefully a good circulation system will then deliver it. At the end, our cells will pick up more oxygen, And that means that we will be a bit healthier for general health and well-being. It also helps reduce those anxious feelings, not necessarily just anxiety, but feelings of anxiousness and worried, and that works in with the curve of anxiety and stress. So by changing the way you breathe throughout the day and practicing your breathing techniques, it can help in many ways. Right, the last thing I want to talk about is breathing and exercise. So of course, when you're running, mountain biking, up on a hill, high altitude, anything over 1,500 meters, you know you're going to start breathing a bit more. So breathing and exercise, your breathing rate obviously will go up. You will recruit more of the accessory muscles around your neck and shoulders, which is a natural way once your breathing is under stress. So one idea is to make sure you have really good control of your breathing when you exercise. For example, when you're running up a hill and it's really tough, every now and then you can slow your pace down so your breath catches up with you, and you do a big carbon dioxide dump, which I kind of say just do a big and you blow out your carbon dioxide. Then your body's ready to take another amount of oxygen in and deliver that to your muscles. What else have we got? So that's lots of blowouts. So lots of blowing out. And the reason why we blow out when we're really, really going is because it's to force expire the CO2 that we don't need in our body. Okay? After exercise, or when you're having a break during one of Gary and Mac's awesome HIIT classes, walk around. Walk around. You want to have your hands up. You want to bring your shoulders up. You'll all see it. The rugby players do it. They all walk around and they're breathing pretty hard, but they're not down here, because as soon as you come down and you want to take a breath, you are squashing your diaphragm and limiting the amount of oxygen and CO2 that you can get in and out of your lungs. So you want to bring your rib cage up. You want to have your hands up. You want to walk around. Walking around is an active recovery. And active recovery means that you will use up your oxygen and blow out your CO2 at a nice even rate, and then your heart rate will come down a bit quicker. So that is just a key thing. So walk around, don't lean over and lean forward. We want to use up the excess. We want to use that oxygen. We want to expel your carbon dioxide, and we want to start quickly slowing your heart rate down so you can get ready to go for another session. Okay, so that's enough from me today. Just make sure that throughout the day, maybe once or twice, you take some time out just for you, practice your breathing in and out nice and slowly, and see how it feels. Anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. That is the wellness breathing snack for today. And tune in for some more live yoga tonight. And tomorrow we've got lots of other things coming your way. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye now.